all the attention right now, at least in my world, has moved to the PGA Championship. And I think the reason being is there's all these storylines. So there's a game we're not going to mention that people play in life. We're going to play a version of that. It's going to be what you think's going to happen at the PGA Championship, and I'm going to name some of the possibilities here. What you think's going to happen in 2 weeks at the second major of the year, what you hope is going to happen at the second major of the year, and the dream situation for what's going to happen at the year. And I'm just going to throw out a couple of the scenarios we're looking at.
Think,
by the way,
hope, dream.
Yeah, you guys can also pull something else if you want. I mean, you can
Eat,
go
pray,
with
love.
Something off. Yeah. Eat, pray, love, whatever you want. There's another one, like I said, we're not going to say it.
It's in my kitchen somewhere.
Yeah. So Rory obviously going for 2 straight majors, right? And this long dream of, the Grand Slam in the same season, all of it ending in Northern Ireland. Like, they write these movies about sports. This one probably wouldn't even make it to script because it'd be so wild. Rory is one of those options. Jordan, who's been playing great golf, who played an excellent round of golf on Sunday, could potentially make 2025 Grand Slam year, right? He could win the PGA Championship and then kind of, trump Rory, if you will, in 2025 in terms of the storylines and what he was able to do. JT, trending, played well at this golf course the last time the PGA was here, a possibility of winning 3 Wanamakers. Bryson, looking for a 3rd major, first PGA Championship, coming off a win on Live. And then obviously Scottie Scheffler trying to win his first non-Augusta major of his career. And to me, it's you win the second major that's not a Masters, and now you're off and running, and we could see what you could do. Can you get to 5? Can you get to 6? Can you get to 8? Can you get to 10? Who knows? So those are kind of my options. You guys, again, can go off the board. Moose, you're a guest. We'll start with you. If you want to, let's punt around. So we'll start with, what are we starting with? Hope?
We're starting with hope. Okay.
Hope.
Let's start with hope. Hope is always a great place to start.
Yeah,
Let's go. Hope. Let's lead with hope here. And I hope that it's the Rory storyline that we're delivered here, because I'm not sure that I think it'll happen. We can get to that more in my think, but my hope is that we end up going to the US Open with this conversation alive and well, and with Rory having claimed not the 3 biggest tournaments of the season, but now the 4 biggest tournaments of the season, consecutive majors after not winning for a decade plus. Like, there's so many ways to frame what that would mean to Rory and what that would mean to, like I said, the greater narrative around this season, which I think has been spectacular. And we can always nitpick and hope for other things, but that would be my hope, is that Rory McIlroy can keep that flame burning, show us that he's freed up. And I do have a big question of Rory, because I haven't gotten an answer on that despite the 3 wins and the major championship, the career Grand Slam complete. Can he make the 5-footer with the chips in the middle? Because, I mean, he had to hit it inside the leather at the Masters. Not to say that's a negative. It's one of the great golf shots that we'll ever have. But the 2 putts that come to mind are the 1 in regulation to win it, and 15 after hitting one of the greatest golf shots we've seen in major championship competition. He misses that one. So with an hour left in a major championship, if he's there, I want to see what Rory McIlroy is inside 5 feet again.
Patrick, I was rewatching 2015 Open the other day, and normal
as one does.
Stuff. Yeah. And I don't think people remember the level of hype on that back 9 on Sunday when Spieth was making that run, because this idea of winning 4 straight in the same season was on the table. And I think that the hope, to Moose's point on Rory, is a lot of fun. What's your hope? What do you hope to see in a couple of weeks on Sunday?
I hope we get another battle. I don't know who it's going to be between, but I hope we get one down to the wire, like the US Open, like the Masters, obviously, because, man, I know we've been spoiled these past 2 years, but come on, let's just keep a good thing going right now. Why stop? Why stop at 1 in a row in 2025 when we can go with 2? And so I think a Scottie versus Bryson one would be very fun, because that's a pairing you could see at Bethpage, like we saw at Whistling Straits, seeing them go back and forth. They have some good blood, unlike Rory and Bryson, who seemingly get more and more bad blood by the day.
Word to me.
Yeah, Bryson not mentioning him in Korea too, and talking about guys who are playing well at the moment. So I'm hoping for an all-time battle again, and I'm also hoping Patrick Reed plays well, so we can start pushing that P. Reed to Beth Page train.
Get him on the team. Let's get the
Needs
guy
to
on
be.
the team.
Needs to be there.
Come on. What are
He
we
just
doing
sued
here?
all of them guys.
Let's go.
I guess Bryson did too. So
on the Ryder Cup team.
Need 'em.
I hope Scottie wins. That's my hope. I want Scottie. I don't want him to go through another golf course. I think plays. I mean, every golf course plays into Scottie's game. I mean, when you hit it straight and far, and your irons are great, and you chip great, and the putter can show up like it has this season, you're gonna have an opportunity anywhere. But I don't want to see Scottie go through these two majors, the PGA and the U.S. Open, without one. So my hope is Scottie gets the victory. Now let's go to what we think's going to happen. And Patrick, I'm going to start with you. What do you think is going to happen come PGA Sunday? Like, I know what I think's going to happen. I want to hear what you think is going to happen.
I think of the storylines you mentioned, none of them are going to materialize. And instead, we're going to get a back-to-back champion. And Xander Schauffele is going to swoop in and win at Quail Hollow. Runner-up in 23, runner-up in 24. 12 straight top 20 finishes in major championships, 5 straight top 10 finishes in major championships. Everyone is talking about all these storylines, and no one is talking about the world number 3, the defending champion, the guy who has 2 major trophies with them. It is absurd to me that no one is mentioning his name. And so I think he swoops in there, ruins all the storylines, and suddenly has as many major championships as Jordan Spieth.
I mean, that would be wild. Get 3 in what? In 12 months
12
would
months,
be pretty
yeah.
wild. I mean, just all of a sudden now you're in the conversation for most majors of this era. Definitely definitely a possibility, and I think it's something that should be on the list. Moose, what do you think is going to happen?
my think is your hope. I think Scottie wins this. I think we do get another duel, whether his foil is Bryson or it's Xander or it's Rory. I think that the PGA is going to deliver again as it has in years past, because like Patrick was saying, this is a tournament that just continues to deliver. And I know you were talking about the major season that we've seen thus far and stretching into last year. But if you think of the PGAs of past, it's sort of just been banger after banger. Say what you want about the test that's presented to these players. But last year we get Xander and Bryson. Victor was a key character there until the final hours of Sunday. We also get the world number 1 in handcuffs. The year prior, we get it's Brooks and Victor dueling in Rochester, and the Blocky arc happens. Like the PGA
First time you mentioned what's the minute? 21 minutes.
I got him in. I got him in.
Minutes in.
I had him for my next segment.
Shout out to the good folks at Arroyo. But no, there's always something. JT comes he was 8 back with how many to play? JT comes all the way back, beats Zalatoris in a playoff, and we get a swing so bad by Mito Pereira that opened the door that became its own storyline. Like that had viral legs to it. So the PGA keeps giving us these duels, to your point, Patrick, but we always get like a third storyline. So back to the answer to my question, I think we get a duel between Scottie and someone, and I can't wait to see what that ancillary storyline is that we're presented here at the PGA.
I think Bryson wins by 6. That's what I think.
Wow.
I think Bryson blows the field out. I think he straightens the driver out, comes in with a lot of confidence. I think the win was huge for him. We talked so much about the Scottie victory. I think Bryson getting a win, 3 rounds, whatever you want to call it about Liv, it doesn't matter to me. I mean, I think Bryson's one of those guys that rides momentum, and I think it was important for him to get the win. I think Bryson might win this thing by a lot. I could see the golf course playing into his hands.
Forgive me, I didn't catch much of Korea. The distance control was remedied. Obviously, he won, but I don't know how to.
0 seconds of 0.0 seconds of it.
Well, we can assume.
I think he said it was better.
Chucky 3 sticks. Iron looked better. And to Shane's point, rain in the forecast Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday next week in Charlotte. Wet golf course, probably a bit more favorable for Bryson.
I think Bryson blows him out. All right, let's go to what we want to have happen. And I think there's an easy answer here. I think the easy answer for everybody is Mr. Jordan Spieth on Sunday, 12-footer. What did we say last week, Patrick? He was going to make a 7-footer win.
Didn't 7-footer
happen. Didn't quite, but
made
he played
the
well.
putt on 18 though.
He made about a 20-footer on 18.
Yeah.
It was a big putt. I think what everybody wants to have happen is Jordan Spieth win. I want Rory to win. That's what I want to see happen. I think that Rory carries a weight in professional golf right now that is unrivaled even by Bryson. I mean, I know Bryson is extremely popular, but Rory touches the golfer. He touches the grandparent. He touches the non-golf fan. I mean, Elton John's texting him, right, and calling him and stuff like that. I mean, all of these people care about golf. That when Rory's involved, he's kind of been the guy in my life that I feel like when he's playing, no matter the tournament, you're going to turn it on. And I think Rory winning 2 in a row, headed to a U.S. Open at a golf course where you've got to hit it far, would make golf go to a place that I'm not sure we've seen it go to in quite some time. So my want is Rory wins 2 straight. Patrick, where are you at in terms of what you want?
Yeah, I mean, golf is hot right now. You see the CJ Cup, Byron Nelson just blow the doors off of F1. Hate that for Darren Rovell. My dream is obviously Spieth. I'd love to see Spieth beat Scheffler in the end, especially after how they talked. And I was walking at Augusta early round 1 when Spieth was like still doing stuff. And we're like, we've never seen these two go at it before. And so Spieth doing that over Scheffler is my dream. Dream number 2, though, would be Michael Block finishes inside the top 15. I already have the tweet in the drafts. Top 15s in major championships. Michael Block 2, Joaquin Niemann 0.
Whoa.
So I need that one to happen.
Very good.
Wow, look
Very
at
good.
you, prepared and ready.
Prepared, like Moose, though.
Just like Joe, coming in early. Joe, what do you got? What do you got in terms of what you dream, what you want, what you hope to have happen in your life come PGA Sunday?
To quickly piggyback there, I was lucky to be standing way too close to the 72nd hole when Blocky got up and down, and just the curtain call, man. Jeter-esque. I mean, it's video doesn't, video does not do justice. That was the biggest pop of the day. The tournament ended. Brooks wins the Wanamaker. He walks right by, and it was like, yeah, but the Blocky pop.
Also, Moose,
the needle,
incredible up and down, like from absolutely nowhere.
I'm at green level, could not see him. He was so that grade up to the green where he got up and down from, and the fans willed that one into the hole. We speak about it jokingly. It was a fun storyline, but Blocky back in the field by way of I think it was a 2nd place finish at the Club Pro Championship.
Cash for
first
us
round
here.
leader. But my dream, shout out to producer Josh here. Forget your dreams. It's going to be Bryson by 6. I think he was his best approach week in Korea since Pinehurst. So there's that.
You go.
My dream, and I'd like to zig where others zag. I don't dream of a Jordan Spieth win here. I want to see Jordan complete the career Grand Slam, just like not right now, dude. Like I want, when we look back in history, for 2025 to have been the year that Rory completed the Grand Slam, not the year where we got 2, because like it took us 50 years to get 2. So maybe let's let it breathe for a minute.
A little bit. Let's let Jordan lose a little more hair and get a little older and have a little more scar tissue.
I love working with you guys because you check all the boxes for me, and I can just like look at narrative as I watch the golf on Saturday and Sunday, and we do our post round on HQ. And in looking at the narrative, I'm not sure I want to tell that story like 6 weeks after we told the biggest story we could this season. So I'm zigging where they zag on Jordan. My dream, I don't know why Justin Thomas is stuck in my head, because like a 3rd Wanamaker doesn't do a whole lot for me in terms of like how it changes the way that I view Justin Thomas. If we're talking about historically looking back, 3rd major does take you to a different echelon. To be so specialized in the sense that it's Wanamaker. I think that one might lose luster for lack of a better pun, but yeah, put me down for JT as my dream, because like it would be the road back. I think that we saw it and we felt it at Harbor Town, but like talk about a guy who wants the ball. Like the same question I posed of Rory, like what are you going to be from 5 feet with it on the line? 5 feet with it on the line, 12 feet, 20 feet with it on the line. Justin Thomas wants the ball. I love watching him in those moments. So I'm going to say that's my dream, because he will have had to have put himself in that moment over 3 days and 9 holes.
Patrick, we spent a lot of time talking about this upcoming major, and we these days never talk about Koepka. And I mean,
yeah, that's a
I
good
always
dream.
think about motivation for players, and I do wonder if there's an added level of motivation now that Rory gets to 5 for Brooks. It feels like to me, I mean, and I know nothing about this, so I don't know what he's doing back in Florida, things like that, but it does feel like maybe not as much time grinding as we've seen in Koepka's historical relevant years. I do wonder if Rory gets to 5, now Brooks cares a little bit more, because these are the events that seem like they set up well for his game, right? PGAs, US Opens, tough golf courses, grinded out places. Could Koepka make a run, do you feel like, or has the game just not been there?
The short game's been bad so far this year. That's kind of been the story of the past 12 months, honestly, where he was switching putters a little bit last year, put the gamer back in the bag this year. Ball striking still looks like Brooks Koepka, but again in Korea, I think he finished T20 multiple or double digits behind Bryson there.
Yeah.
It was all short game that really hindered him. So obviously he's won 3 out of the last 7 of these, which is bonkers.
Is that good?
But I do think Liv probably has the 3 most motivated guys in this field, maybe 4, honestly, with Koepka. I think Rahm's still pissed off of just about everything, wanting to prove himself, not getting the love for the top 10 finishes on Liv, 19 in a row now, guys. And of course, Joaquin the Dream Neiman still have something to prove. I think putting Augusta behind him is probably a good thing, and these next 2 major starts will be good for him. But I don't know what to do with Brooks. You can never count him out in the majors, because once you do, you look like a complete buffoon. But the short game is not good right now. That's all I'll say.
Can we revisit in a week? Because we always said Brooks was like he towed the line between athlete and golfer. And what athlete has been able to do what they do, like physically unprepared? I was unimpressed with the get off the bus factor from Brooks in the recent past when we've gotten to see him. It feels like, and I'm not going to question preparation or physical fitness, but like Brooks is a guy that like you usually when he steps into the arena, you know whether or not it's going to be one of those weeks. So like,
I think that's a fair point.
I look at him on Wednesday and you get that feeling like Brooks looks good. Brooks might end up looking good. Like,
yeah, I mean, it would be, I'll say this, like in terms of the, I mean, like Xander not being a top 5 storyline is wild, right? Coming off, 2 majors last year, but Brooks not even being in the conversation right now. Hopefully that is motivation for him, because, professional golf and major championship golf is way better when Koepka's involved. I mean, it's just more fun when he's one of the characters. And he's one of those guys that, Liv is so funny for so many players because they kind of go away, if you will, when Liv exists, because you don't see him that often, or you don't see him as much as you used to. Brooks is one of those guys that kind of was a Liv golfer before Liv even existed, right? Regular PGA Tour events, Brooks wasn't really around that often. And then you get to the majors and he would be motivated and play excellent golf. And so not a lot has changed in the way I look at Koepka, even with Liv becoming a thing. But I'd love to see Brooks shoot 3 under in the first round, or be fifth through 2 rounds. Just kind of to be there, because Patrick's been beating this drum. JT in the major performances over the last few years has been terrible, and Koepka over the last couple of years has not been much better, right? So you got to show something, I think, and it would be cool. I'm going to throw a little curveball at you guys because producer Josh threw this our way, and I like it. Is there a dream first-time major winner? If we don't get one of these crazy storylines, is there somebody you'd love to see win a major for the first time? Moose, you're nodding your head.
I'm in on Vic. Like, I think that these last 2 PGAs, he's been a huge part of the story until, last 45 minutes of the tournament. He blows one into the face of the bunker in Rochester, and then really never got the engine to turn over at Valhalla. But like, he has put himself in position these last 2. That would be another redemptive story with the tinkering and the I've got my C stuff and I'm a 6 out of 10 and everything, all of this self-deprecation, self-loathing that he presents with. I want Victor again to show up and say, I feel good and I'm hitting it well and I believe in myself, and then go do it, because you stir something there with Brooks. It's like, it's a story, and stories are about characters. And I love Viktor Hovland as a character for all his flaws and his success. I think that it'd be super interesting and to get him on the board.
Yeah,
Patrick,
I think the obvious choice is Patrick Cantlay, especially we're talking about being open and honest and likable with Victor. I think Cantlay certainly fits that bill also.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I'll tell you this, that's who was in my brain.
I love Victor too. I love when, Shane, we've talked about this, when guys kind of figure it out late. Like Colin's great, Ludwig's great. Those guys who just burst onto the scene and are superstars right away. But there's something about being in your mid-30s and finding your first one. And to me, I'm a fanboy through and through. I know he's not the most entertaining golfer to watch, but I'd love to see Russell Henley win a major championship. I know he's a big kind of your guy, Shane, but Russell probably wouldn't be a popular one, but he'd be a popular one in the McDonald household.
Yeah, I would love that. I mean, I said it before the year. I thought he was going to contend and win a major. I think I'm going to go Victor as well. Just again, I think everything Moose said was perfect about Victor Hovland. He's just again, it kind of goes back to what I said about Brooks. It's more fun when those guys are dialed.